In this video, the French and enemy battle turns are explained, plus the various actions that lead to the ending of a battle. When you roll Napoleon's command rating or less, you can activate an insight counter. You may attempt to activate more than one insight. Remember that insight counters that have a dash automatically activate. You do not need to roll a die. Discarding a scout counter will let you re-roll for activating an insight counter. You can discard as many scout counters as you own and then restock them during the resupply phase. You can choose battle plan counters up to the number of your battle plan quantity, but only one battle plan may be placed on a single French infantry or cavalry force unless stated otherwise on the battle plan. Attack orders are in red, while advance orders are in green. The battle plan counters for the French are as follows: charge, engage, flank, formation, grape shot, prepare, push, square, and volley. Each battle plan states what it will do when applied to the French force. The French default battle plans are denoted by the orange banner in the top left corner. All French forces that do not receive a battle plan counter may use the default battle plan or do nothing at all. The default battle plans include march, fire, pivot, and retreat. You draw as many enemy battle plans as the enemy battle plan quantity indicates. You can then assign them to one infantry and cavalry unit one at a time. Cannons, fortifications, and garrisons do not receive battle plans. The enemy battle plans include aimed, assault, closing, forward, melee, rush, wedge, and wheel. There are also special enemy battle plan counters for all enemy forces which do not count against the battle plan draw. They include close ranks, officers, and well struck. As with the French, there are enemy default battle plans for forces that did not receive any battle plan counters. They are assigned to each force depending on their range to the French forces and include advance, combat, and retreat. All enemy battle plans are resolved starting with the frontmost and proceeding to the rearmost battlefield regions. Resolve all actions for enemy forces within a region one at a time, starting with forces that have a battle plan, followed by forces that have a default battle plan. As each battle plan is resolved, return it to the battle plan cup. All enemy forces in melee combat with the French lose their battle plan and must use the combat default battle plan instead. You roll to activate and resolve French battle plans in any order you desire. For your forces that do not have a battle plan, select a default battle plan and resolve that when activated. If the French force is in melee combat with the enemy, discard whatever battle plan it is using and instead switch to a default battle plan. Start by rechecking the combat values of each side to see which one has routed. You do that by totaling up the combat values of the enemy and French forces on the battlefield sheet. If one side has at least 3 times the number of the other side routs. The side which routs loses all fortifications and garrisons, while all its mobile forces must choose the retreat battle plan until they exit the battlefield behind their reserve region. For enemy forces that retreat behind its reserve region, return their mobile forces to a randomly selected area adjacent to the battle area that is either under their control or no one's control. If such areas do not exist, then destroy that force. For French forces that voluntarily retreat, move the Napoleon counter to the same campaign map area your first forces moved to exit the battlefield. Ignore the battle turn track when one side routs. Complete the routing process turn by turn until the routed side has exited the battlefield or has been destroyed. Advance the battle turn counter and begin a new battle turn with the insight activation step. The battle ends when the following conditions are met. Only one side has forces on the battlefield, which includes routing, or when the counter is moved to the withdrawal box on the turn track. Roll on the withdrawal chart to see what happens next, which may include rejoin, enemy retreat, French retreat, or encamp. Your mobile forces may move to an area adjacent to the area it currently occupies, although you cannot enter an area with enemy forces. Pay a single supply point for each force you move. You do not have to pay to force march Napoleon, but you can force march any mobile unit for one supply even if they have moved earlier. Consult the resupply to see how many supply points you have available. You may refit your reduced forces and purchase scouts for 2 supply each. Or you may purchase new forces by paying their combat value, which includes reduced and destroyed forces if allowed by the rules. All new forces are placed with existing French forces. A static force remains on the campaign map for the duration of the campaign. In the next video, the enemy turn is explained to provide insight on how the opponent will combat your battle plans in Field Commander Napoleon.